thinking, really? But yes, really, this is how we feel. And I remember when Anita was on the show
I hope
the
we
last
don't creep
time,
you out. She's like,
she
these
said,
two ladies are just a lot.
kidnapped. She'd never heard from again.
No.
She was like, we have to go together. And then I was like, who should we have as a guest? And Anita Dara goes, Nikita Kering.
Yeah.
And I said, Anita, if you make that happen,
Yeah.
the only thing that's not up for grabs is my firstborn.
Yeah.
I mean, currently I'm not taking any more children in, but I made it happen, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very grateful. I bumped into Nikita Kering at an event we were both attending, and I was like, this is my chance. I got one chance, one opportunity, and Eminem was playing in the background, and so then I went and I spoke to her, and you were absolutely incredible, and you were very sweet, and she was just like, yeah, sure, let's exchange numbers, and I was like, I'm getting Nikita Kering's number on my phone right now. The value of my phone just went up several notches.
One thing you said recently is that you're tired of people asking you stupid questions when they interview you.
Oh my God, that's a very strong word.
Well, not stupid questions. But what I want to find out
Redundant
is
questions.
What I want to find out is which is the worst.
The one I'm tired.
You're like, yeah, please don't ask me that, Olivia. That one.
When did you start singing? That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
So we're gonna
To be
go.
fair,
Yeah.
and this is in defense of everybody, including myself, who was about to ask that question. Is you when I speak to you and you say, I did this at the age of 15 and then I did this at the age of 16, somebody researches on you and they're like, you're just still 20 years old, but
Yeah.
you've achieved so much. It really must beg the question, when did you start? Because how you've I mean, usually we'll be like, I'm 32. I've been doing this for such a long time. If somebody does ask me when did I start, I'm like, that's gonna be
Archives.
That's gonna be archive, like stories from back in the day. But you're still so young.
Yeah.
So then it that's the reason why someone's just like, so how much younger were you when?
Okay.
But you don't have to answer it. It's
No,
fine.
I'm gonna answer
Sure,
just for
tell me.
Anita today.
Thank you.
For Anita, and I was just saying, this is my first interview in Kenya for the year. Imagine.
What?
Yes, it is.
Well, okay. Apart from me loving you,
Yeah.
I'm feeling very honored right now, by the way.
yeah, tell us why.
Was it the question?
No. Whoa. Maybe I should have done more interviews so that I'm more quick on my feet. But
We don't need to be, but we got time. We got time.
no, I think for me, it's like I don't want it to be fake anymore. It's like I did so many interviews growing up in the industry so I started doing interviews and shows when I was 9, 10. So it's been 10 years of answering the same questions and trying to find a nicer way to say it just so that a new audience can I guess consume it in a new fresh way. And I think I just got to the point where I'm just like, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit tired of faking it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me go to my creative space. Let me just write music so that at least the next time I'm having an interview, I'm answering questions about the new me or something fresh.
And that's what I want to find out, because you're a young woman, but your lyrics and your sound is so grown.
Yeah.
I listened to your music for the first time about 2 months ago, and I was just like, what? And I had it on repeat. And I said, Apple Music, if you don't have all these songs, tutakosana, right? But I have it on repeat. And even when I listen to the lyrics and the depth, even the melody, I'm thinking, where do you draw that from?
I'm not gonna lie and just say I guess I have one thing or one place that I go to get this. I'll just say everyone has their talent, and I think this is mine.
It so is.
Because if you told me to write about this microphone, I will be able to write about the microphone. And I can tell you, I haven't been a music writer for so long. The first time I wrote a song, I was 16 years old. So that means I've only been a songwriter for 4 years. But, the strides I have made in songwriting, I guess for me, are crazy. And I wish to work harder than I do, but I'm able to see that, I won't say it comes naturally. I just say I don't have a hard time with it. And so I'm not going to lie to anybody and say you can just become a songwriter tomorrow. I can say I do have the advantage of it being a talent. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not the best dancer. I'm not the best anything, but I can tell with songwriting it's a bit
TikTok
effortless.
begs to differ.
But I will say I had to try. I had to force myself to wake up and make a damn TikTok because that's not my thing. It's not. I don't enjoy it. Like it's not. It doesn't come naturally to me.
What was the song that you were grooving to on TikTok?
Because I don't even remember.
I'm trying to remember as well because she was in a black outfit, but you were on stage in that one.
I was on stage. Oh yeah. Oh, that one. That one. It was a guy called Brian Kinyua. He is a photographer and I guess a videographer who just caught a moment of one of my concerts. So that was me dancing to X. On stage, and that was the first performance of X. And I can tell you, like, until today, it's like I'm gonna have to work so hard so that I can keep having that moment because, man, I don't know if performers have expressed the fact that going on stage and hearing thousands of people singing your song is not normal. Like it's mind-blowing, and I feel like I will do everything to get that moment again. It's a high. It's just something else.
I can't promise you thousands of people, but Celine from Ghetto Classics is a huge fan, as is Nancy. But Celine, since you mentioned X, has actually done a clarinet version of it. Celine,
dope.
are you ready to bust it out? We're going to try it out just for Nikita Kering right now. Can we play some X for... Let's just hear it out. Wow. Like, look, I mean, come on. Good job.
It's very hard to play a clarinet as well.
It is.
I tried before.
What instruments do you play?
I play the piano. I used to play bass, but I just play piano now.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you're terrible at, because of course you're used to people asking you all the great things, right? So the things, because there have been challenges, obviously. The road is filled with potholes at times, right? When you're talking about overcoming a specific challenge, give young women and women in general examples of some of those challenges and what happened for you to overcome them.
I'd say as much as we do live in a terribly unfair world, I'll say I've kind of tackled it in a different way, in which like I've just had to accept the fact that in this day and in my age right now, I'm not able to get equal opportunities as I guess my fellow men out there. I'm not bitter about it. I just have to be smarter and I have to work much harder. So one of the challenges I will tell you is the scarcity of women in the industry. There's no women. There's no women in the music industry. I've never seen a female producer, for instance, doing really well here in Kenya. I haven't seen that at all. I rarely ever see I guess women in the music industry lasting for ages. You see how, like, I don't know, Beyonce or let me say Whitney before she passed was able to have like a very long career.
Yes.
Yes, like people's careers are drying out so fast, and women seem to be getting the most of that. So it's just that, like, I don't know who to look up to, as a woman. It's being in a space where I'm doing a lot of guesswork, and you kind of have to realize in this industry that more often than not, people are helping you for their own sake. They're not helping you because they love you, or they're not helping you because They just really want to make it just like everybody wants to make it. And unfortunately, with men, it's easier to achieve that. We as musicians work throughout the night, throughout the day. But the challenges we face is not feeling safe in the spaces that we work in. And I don't want to delve too much into that, but it can be a bit tricky. Yeah.
Where's your support? Because it is, like you said, very few people for you to look up to. I have a challenge just playing music by women. Every now and then there'll be collabos. You'll hear male voices because there are just not that many artists, especially from the time period that we play that we can hire. And that's why I loved, the fact that you're Kenyan. You have that sound that I can incorporate into my show. But where is your support? Who keeps you up? Who props you up and gives you strength to continue?
I think my family has played a huge role in that. I'll also say that making it as a woman in this industry is highly influenced by the people around you, because it's not easy. Whether you're a girl or a boy, it's not easy. It's expensive. It's crazy, man. So my family has really been that support where I know, okay, even if it doesn't work now, they're with me until it works. And not many people have access to that, especially in African homes whereby the arts aren't taken as seriously. You'll find that your family members will support you, but they'll support you from a distance so that when in case it fails, tulikuambia, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm just happy that my mom has been with me throughout the whole journey. My dad has also been there. And I think I've been able to choose people within the music industry who really do believe in me and are ready to invest even in the times when we are down. Yeah.
You have 2 EPs out so far, and I'm just curious, how much work goes into putting together an EP? How long does that take? You managed to do them back to back in terms of years.
Yeah.
But what was the process behind that?
An EP. I like bodies of work. I feel like it's easier because it doesn't dry out. Like, a single will come. After 3 months, it's no longer part of the charts. You have to now start thinking of the next thing.
And that's why I refuse to believe that you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Because when you say things like, I like bodies of work, I think you're just a really old woman in a very young body. Because
I think so too sometimes. Yeah, I think creating a body of work allows you, it allows someone to have a much longer experience of what's going on inside Nikita Kering. And then I'm also able to tell my stories, my personal stories in poetry that is pages and pages long. And so there's so much to unravel. And I think that's so much fun. In terms of how long it takes, for me, I have so many unreleased songs. I have so many unreleased, I can't even count it. The challenge of putting an EP together isn't the work, it is the emotion and what you're trying to tell. Sometimes that can be complicated because you're like, I really like this song, it's super fun, but then I also like this song, it's super sad. So how do I make them fit in one body of work? How do I tell a story? Because I feel like I go crazy because I don't have to be feeling sad to write a sad song, and I don't have to be happy to write a happy song. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that I can just do at the same time. So the challenge usually is making the work flow. And I still think with this last project, I could do so much better with the next one. But I just love that there is progress. Yeah.
I love that you've said you don't have to be sad to write a sad song or happy to write a happy song. So at least you won't be put into the category of, how we always want Mary J. Blige to be heartbroken because we know we're going to get an epic album.
No, that's Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift also. Whenever she's sad, we get the most epic album. So at least we know. We wish you well because whichever way it goes, we know we're going to get a great album out of it. So please, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and I agree with you about I feel like you're an old soul because when somebody listens to your albums, the stories you tell are not that of a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, how did you experience all this or go through all this? But it's beautiful because to you it's poetry, and it's
For me, it's what I call life. You touched my soul.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out, with regards to your parents, you've talked about your mother, you've talked about your father. How much involvement do they have, if any, in your creative process, maybe as a sounding board, etc., or are they just the money?
Oh man, they're not even the money. I'm the money.
your mother's like, oh, okay, all right, cool. She'll be waiting for you when you get home.
Yes, they're different kind of support. They're the I consult them for a lot of the stuff that I do in business and money management, and yes, that's mainly what they're there for. They are not in the creative process whatsoever. Jeez, there's no one who can do that in that house. Maybe my brother, but that's about it. Everyone else is living their own lives.
Who would you like as a mentor? Who would you like with regards to, we're looking about continent-wide or even globally? Let's start maybe with Kenya, then let's go continent-wide, and then let's go international out of that. Who would you be like, I would love to
Be mentored by.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good question. Crazy enough, if he wasn't that crazy, I'd say Don Jazzy. Yeah. I think that man really knows what the hell he's doing, and I've watched his progress over a really long time. So Don Jazzy is.
Have you been in touch?
No, I haven't. I'd love to. Man.
Warum? Warum nicht?
Because.
Oh, did you just throw in some German?
Yeah,
She
she said, why not?
Litmus test.
What? Yeah, well, I haven't been able to get to him because he is quite the big man. So we're trying
I'ma
to
do that for you.
there. Really?
I do not have much. But as God is my witness, and Celine and Nancy and Nikita and Anita, I love that Nikita and
You do
Anita.
this, plus she gets the Grammy. I'll just be a happy child.
No.
on the
Yeah,
side.
get me in touch with Don Jazzy.
I'm
please.
going to get you in touch with Don
Yeah,
Jazzy.
yeah,
If I
please
could
find
get
Don Jazzy.
Tina Savage here, I'm going to get you Don Jazzy.
Even Tiwa is quite a beast. Yeah, I think for a woman, Tiwa would be dope as well. Yeah.
There's an artist you mentioned at the event that you would love to collab with.
Oh, I have no idea. I can't remember.
Neither can I. That's why I was hoping you would. This is not. This is,
How much were you guys sipping on something?
Nah, I
what
mean,
advice was that?
it was a good end of your party.
No, but as you're thinking about that, as a 20-year-old, are you studying? Are you in college?
No.
Is
I'm
that
not
something
in
you want to
college right
pursue?
now.
Or
Yeah, eventually I do when I can pay my own fees. But it's just about the timing right now. It's the timing isn't right. We need to invest a lot of time in what I'm doing.
Berkeley haven't thrown a scholarship at you?
I mean, Berkeley can throw the scholarship, but Berkeley isn't the answer to success.
No.
It's what I use Berkeley for that can help me get that. Yes, and I did I got a scholarship when I applied to Berkeley. Yeah.
No, because you started off with the money.
Yeah,
So I was just like,
yeah. I mean, there's
tell the
more
truth. Tell the
to
truth.
college than fees.
Yeah, so like, tell the truth.
Yeah, I just need the money to I want to live abroad for a bit, and I can't pay for that right now. So hopefully, when I can, I will. But I think it's just I'm looking for space out there, so that people out there can see my journey as well. You know, people love to identify with someone's journey. So yeah, I found a home in the UK, and they have been amazing. The BBC space, or what can I call it? I don't know. They're just very diverse, and I love it. I've loved it the last few times I've been there. And I just think the challenge right now is just trying to figure out how can we get to the other side of the world, because, you know, we've had so many artists here in Kenya getting to, you're almost there. You're just almost breaking into the international space. But I don't believe there's anyone that I've seen as a musician who's completely now, taken over in that space, just as if, like, the way, let's say, Lupita Nyong'o has done so in her art, and Kipchoge in his art. So I'm hoping that I can be that musician who does that for Kenya.
No, it'll be you. They're just waiting for you. It'll be you. No. I'm 100% convinced it'll be you because I heard the first track I heard, and I think it was Anya, and I was like, Jesus, we have it. Lupita's prayers have been answered. Like, my first interview of the year was Lupita Nyong'o, and I was thinking, this is great for cinema, but we need this for music.
Yeah.
And then Jesus heard me.
Your sound definitely transcends borders in a way where it's just it's incredible. Someone doesn't even have to think about who did the song or where the song came from. It's just the music speaks for itself, and I want that for you, sis. Like I really do see you being the person who transcends the borders and just breaks out and just puts Kenya on the map the way all the other incredible artists in their fields are doing for us.
Thanks to Olivia Otieno and Don Jazzy. You see, we're already crafting that Grammy speech.
Yeah,
we're crafting it. We're just we're fine tuning it.
Give me Don Jazzy.
I am. Nice, I know what to do for the next 3 weeks. I'm off. This is my last show. I'm back on the 7th, so I'm going to be like, it's going to happen. Okay. It's going to happen. Awesome. So, do you manage your own social media?
Partially?
Yeah,
partially. Yeah.
Do you go through it?
It depends. What do you mean go through it? Like comments and stuff?
Because I don't engage much on social, especially on Twitter. But there was one time, like, I know I'm wearing a sleeveless dress, but I was rolling up sleeves. Yeah, someone was trying to say something negative about you, and I was rolling up my sleeves thinking, you are not going after Nikita.
Yeah.
Because now I am going to be, as a sole person, KOT.
Yeah.
Right? Say whatever you want about me, my show, whatever, but don't touch Nikita. So my question to you is, how much do you engage? How much do you ingest social?
I'd say I try my best not to. At all. It reached a point I had to unfollow everybody and just kind of refresh the content that appears on my socials, because I also realized that there's a lot of pressure that comes from certain I don't know how to say it in an uncontroversial way.
Be controversial.
Say it. Say it. Hell no. I'm not about to be on BNN or something. There's a lot of pressure to fit a certain mold here in Kenya.
Break it.
Yeah.
Just break it.
I think there's a lot of pressure when it comes, especially for a lot of women out here. And, sometimes you're scrolling on social media and you realize that without anyone doing it to you, you're kind of...
doing it to yourself.
You're doing it to yourself. You're comparing your achievements to other people's achievements. You're kind of like, oh, they look like that, or they're doing that. Why aren't I like that? So, yeah,
they just got this endorsement. They just got this sponsorship.
So you're like, oh my God, am I sleeping too much? Like, am I this and this and this? And sometimes it can be negative. I started learning this thing this year. I don't know if someone else said it or if it's something I thought of myself. It's called healthy jealousy. It's positive jealousy, whereby you see someone achieving something and you're like, oh wow, I would love that, but I still love it for you. I love it for you, but I would love it.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So that way we keep learning from each other.
Yeah.
It's not, why did she get that? She doesn't deserve it. Like, who are you to say what that person deserves?
True.
Yeah. So,
that hits me.
hit us up with some clarinet. Hit us up with some clarinet.
Hi, my name is Wangu Kanja. You're listening to Double O Direct with Olivia Otieno on Spice FM.
It's a magical Christmas at Westgate.
Geometry ya Nairobi. Watu wengi kutoka Nairobi wanalala hapa. Na wakikuja hapa pia hata sisi tunapata biashara. Tunapata biashara aje? Kina mama mboga, wale wako na maduka na nini, wakinunua, wakifungua maduka huko, wakifungua kazi, Mavoko inaendelea kukua. Kwa hivyo sisi tunashukuru sana. Nataka kushukuru Edaman.
Na unazubai hivi tu mtaani, si upite na mita uwe mshindi. Cheza Insta Mita na unaweza jishindia hadi mita 10 papo hapo bila ngoja. Game yenyewe ni rahisi sana. Bonyeza *239# sasa ushiriki. Usizubae bana. Cheza Insta Mita leo upate nafasi ya kujishindia mamita. Over 18s only. Gaming is addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been authorized by the BCLB. License number 880.
Club Kiboko Festival is here. The Standard Group fraternity is inviting you to the bonding and fun event on 18th December 2022 at the Waterfront Kering. You don't want to miss the fun-filled environment where up to 3,000 kids will consume various products and be engaged in edutainment, outdoor activities, concerts, and outdoor gaming experience. Be a part of the Club Kiboko Fest and get value on brand experiential and engagement spaces, gaming stations, and expo area and mentions. This event will start and broadcast live on KTN Home from 10 a.m. and you'll get to have fun till 6 p.m. To book your space and get more details, call 0712 924275 or 0727-201922 or email paodhiambo@standardmedia.co.ke or hgikandi@standardmedia.co.ke. Club Kiboko Festival. Miss it, miss out. KTN News. Get the whole story.
Even when we try to throw this all behind, I find myself inside of your arms again. Yeah.
I love how for you it's theory, for us it's so practical.
In my head, I'm like, that's what I was saying. If somebody listens to your songs, and then and you're like, oh yeah, no, I just wrote that because it's talent. It came to me, and I'm like, I can't explain to you how hard I relate to those lyrics. Yeah. I'm like, I remember, I know exactly what you're talking about, and now it's interesting. It's interesting to hear you say that, but then also it's one of the things that I do love about your music is even when like I'm in a happy space, I will still listen to X and enjoy it just as much as I did when I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like one of those things where one morning you'll wake up and you're just like, I kind of want to have a Nikita morning today.
Yeah.
And like my husband finds me listening to X over and over again. It's even awkward in the house. He's like, what is going on here? Is there something you're going through? I'm like, no, I just really happen to like this song.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Your music is just it's phenomenal.
Thank
and
you.
The vocals, I will emphasize this throughout this interview. Your range is just all I want for Christmas, Lord. Yes, please.
You got a scholarship to Brookhouse?
Yeah.
A music scholarship.
A part scholarship.
Part scholarship.
Yeah.
What was the application process like?
Do I remember? Oh wow, it was a while back. I remember I went to a what is it called? Like a music festival?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of a music festival thing, and we were at Brookhouse, and then we kind of had to volunteer from the school I was in before I was at Brookhouse. I had to go and volunteer to sing at the front. So I think I sang at the front, and then these guys were like, "Oh, you should definitely apply to the school." And I also didn't know that the deputy head at that time was a really big fan of mine. So when I went,
they were a fan of yours before you joined the school.
Yeah.
But you joined it from year 1 of high school.
What?
At what point did you join Brookhouse?
After year 10.
Okay.
No, was it after? Oh, yeah, it was in year 10.
Okay.
Year 10. So they were a fan of mine before I joined the school. So when I went and applied, they were like, "Oh yeah, we do love your work. Just give us a bit. Let's figure out what we're gonna do about this," because they leaned on giving scholarships to STEM students. STEM is like the science and technology and mathematics and all that. So I didn't have a very big chance of getting a big scholarship, but I did get a good scholarship, part scholarship. So yeah, that's it.
That policy changed.
What?
They were like, we're not just going to have STEM anymore.
Yeah.
We're also going to incorporate a lot of arts.
I mean, now that I look back, I'm like, why did y'all it was such a hard time getting it as well, because it's not the whole school that believed in me. It's like part of the board was like, no, and then the other board was like, yeah, that would be awesome. So now I'm just looking back and I'm just like, yo.
So then what did the program entail if they had a program specifically for STEM and music wasn't necessarily...
It was scholarships.
No, it wasn't a program for STEM.
Okay.
It was like they would take students that are like
Good.
STEM students. STEM students are the students who are good at like science and maths. And for me, I wasn't bad at it. That's just what... I didn't have scholarship worthy grades for STEM. But I had crazy grades for, the arts and English and stuff. So they kind of had to change the culture a bit. But I'm sure they don't regret it.
Yeah, no, but they're not going to be in the acceptance
I don't think
speech.
they do.
I wish they could still do better. I think Brookhouse can do better at supporting arts students. Yeah.
Do you feel like you developed some extra talent there? Do you feel that you learned with regards to music and your craft?
I learned so much in Brookhouse. Oh my God. That's why I'm saying they should do better, because their facilities could be life-changing to people who deserve it. If they can find musicians that have international level
Potential, yeah.
Yeah, they could change people's lives. I believe it. And when I was there, I got to be, and I took it for granted. Even when I was there, I wish I spent more time in the studio. I wish I spent more time
They have an
stage.
on-campus studio.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
they
what we
do.
were going. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I spent more time in the studio. I wish I spent more time in the auditorium, and their facilities are just amazing. So I learned so much, and I still think there is space for so many other talents to go there and learn. So, yeah.
Is this where you were tutored by Eric Wainaina?
Yes, Eric Wainaina and Ian Bugwa.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Tell
they
me
were my
about
teachers.
Tell me about your current technical team. Who you
Yeah.
work with on the production side, on your music videos as well.
Yeah. I'm not one to, I guess, stay with one person when it comes to video production, just because I think so many people have so many different ways of telling their stories, and I don't ever want one music video to look like the other music video, just because I feel like I also need to be challenged in that area, because I don't know too much about it. So I don't want someone who's gonna keep me on one culture. So yeah, I work with So Fresh for my music production, a guy called So Fresh. I've worked with him as a producer and sound engineer in the past. And then I also worked with a guy called Rodney Rodman for the video for Onya. And I also worked with him on the video for X with someone called Hadi Wambiakale. And then I worked with, I currently managed by Nelly McKenna, and I work with Universal South Africa for my distribution and license marketing. I also work with...
So it's diverse.
Yeah,
They've
it's
got
very,
quite a
very
lot.
diverse. I can't even remember everything.
Highlights
Dreamwork makes the
2022. Like
Yes.
the points were like, you are not going to believe what happened. I want to hear those in your, let's say, 2021, 2022.
For me, my highlight of this year was a guy called Young Philly liking my post. That was the biggest highlight, I swear. He's a YouTuber. I'm like the biggest fan of his.
Yes.
I've died to meet him. And the day before he liked my photo, I was talking about him the whole day. So it was kind of like it manifested. To who was I talking? Like one of my friends.
Yeah.
Just one of my friends. I was like, oh my God, if I got to meet Young Philly, I'd die and everything. Then the next day he likes my photos. I don't know if there's some technological people out there listening to my conversations with people. I don't know.
Google's
but
always
like,
listening.
I don't know. I feel like they're always listening or something.
So I started noticing that as well, where there's things you'll talk about, and then all of a sudden your search area,
Yeah.
like your discover area, just becomes geared towards.
Oh
and
my
you're just
God,
like,
it's very
this is
creepy. It's very creepy. But I mean,
Young
I
Philly.
love Jay-Z. I love Beyonce. So hopefully Beyonce is gonna like my photo.
Because let me just be honest. There's Lupita Nyong'o, there's Elsa Majimbo, there's Nikita Kering. Yeah, that's where you're headed. That's without a shadow of a doubt. That is where you're headed. And I want, come on, it's not even a thing. But moving.
just remember during the acceptance speech.
Oh,
That's the only catch.
okay.
So we're trying to figure out some of the other highlights you had for the year. Because I've seen you like in Times Square. I've seen you at Spotify. I saw you on BBC. You'll tell us how that came about, by the way, that BBC journey. So can we start with that? How did you end up being on BBC One Extra?
Yeah. So around July, I was going for my brother's graduation. He was studying at Uni of Manchester. So he graduated from there. So I went, and when we were going, a guy called Eddie Kadi, he is just the most amazing person ever. He works in BBC One Extra, and we met during the Afrima 2019. And he said, he loved me. So I DM'd him and I told him, hey, when I come, I want you to host me for BBC One Extra. And I didn't know I was ever going to go to the UK. Like, this was around January.
Yes.
I didn't know if I was going to go for my brother's graduation.
Yes.
Then he was like, just let me know when it's 2 weeks to you coming.
Yes.
And I was just sitting and I'm like, he probably doesn't mean it. Like, he wouldn't do
lip
anything
service.
about it. Yeah, he probably doesn't even remember who I am or whatever. Then I texted him 2 weeks to it and I was like, hey, I'm going to be around on this date. And he said, come through. And he got me passes, me and my friend Sarah Ikumu, who lives in the UK. And we literally walked. We walked into the BBC building, and I got an opportunity to have an interview with him on BBC One Extra and have my music played on there, which was a really big deal for me at that time. So they kind of kept my contacts and everything. I went on with my life, released my EP, because it was just right before I was supposed to... It was actually the same week I released the first single of my EP, which was Last Name. So later on, I got the Spotify Equal deal, and they told me, hey, you're going to be the Spotify Equal ambassador for the month. And I was like, oh, wow, that's such a big deal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then when I was going through the deliverables and from both our ends, what they do and what we do, and the, I forget what it's called, just some sheet that they give you. And then I'm like, it says Times Square billboard. So I was like, wait. I wasn't sure I saw the right thing. So I just, I took some time off it and I was like, there's no way it can be. So I called my manager and like, did you see that it said Times Square? And then they were like, yeah, that was one of the perks. And I remember before, like a month before that opportunity, Spotify texted me or something and they were like, hi, just send us something for this and this. And I was like, oh my God, more demands because I'm not a big fan of like doing all these what do they call drops and whatnot. So I was like, I have to go wear makeup, go dress up. I don't like that process at all. So I was like, okay, let me just do it. So it was because of that they actually gave, they were like, let's do it this month. I think she's gonna be excellent. So yeah, that happened.
What is a Spotify Equal ambassador? Let's just take one step back.
Well, the Equal platform is just something that I guess is in support of equality in the industry. Let me say equity in the industry. And they just need a woman every month to be able to tell their side of the story and their hopes within the industry and what they're doing to change it. How are you supporting equity within the music business as an individual? So it was just that, me telling my story, and I guess they got inspired by me before and they were like, yes, let's have this person on there. So yeah, that's it. So I got the billboard. I didn't even know it was up, and my sister was in New York at that time. I would have sent her to go and look at it, but I didn't know. Then they told me the next day that it was there, and I was like, what? You didn't tell me when it was there. I was so annoyed. I didn't know.
Do you know how many posts I scrolled because I was looking for the one with you in front of your billboard?
Yeah.
Now you tell me that there was actually no you.
No.
At Times Square in front of your own billboard.
No, imagine I couldn't. They didn't tell me on time, and plus also everything happened within such a short time. I couldn't even get a visa to travel. And I was actually in the UK when the billboard was up. I was recording the BBC performance and I couldn't tell anyone about it, so we just had to keep quiet. So that happened. That was a highlight. I'm just so happy that it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing, and I also know for sure that that's opened doors for people here, and just to know that they can get a billboard on Times Square. And it's not I'm telling you, this is just like one step on that ladder. We have so much more that we can achieve and I can achieve, and I'm just trying to strategize and see how best to work around that. Also, the reason, by the way, I wasn't doing interviews is because I just need to figure out why am I doing an interview. You know, what's the reason? Is it just to get my face out there as much as possible? I'm like, just because everyone is doing interviews doesn't mean I need to do it. I need to really know the reason why we're out there. So the reason I did this interview is, one, because I think it's in line with my beliefs and I guess the whole equal program thing. And I also thought, you know, I want to be in a platform where I can say whatever I want to say. And being that I don't really like to talk, I don't like to talk a lot on my social media and share my life, I thought this would be like a nice, good space to just openly chat. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I used to be
for saying
so
yes to
much.
us.
I'm so sorry, but I used to be so much more energetic and fun than this. I'm so serious. Everyone says I'm so serious nowadays, but it's like, I just want to say what I want to say.
I do feel like you're my more mature, level-headed sister
Yeah.
in this scenario.
Yeah. Also, there's times I have a lot of fun. It's just I don't put it out there. So,
But you have a lot going on.
yeah,
I mean,
I do.
and speaking of a lot going on, as we get into the new year,
Yeah.
what can we look forward to with regards to Nikita Kering?
Man, you know, I wish I knew.
I love that honesty.
I got this and I got this. I wish I
I
knew.
wish I knew, man.
There's that
You know,
trip to Don Jazzy.
I'm just, yeah, for sure. I want to meet Don Jazzy. I want to manifest meeting Don Jazzy. That has to happen.
Is that collabo with Tiwa Savage?
Maybe not a collabo, but I would love to meet her. I would
She's
love to meet her
ready.
and learn so much from her.
Are there any female the what you said earlier about female producers being very scarce? Are there any that you do know of that you would want to work with?
Yeah, there's actually someone I'm speaking to right now, and it's very embarrassing that I've just forgotten her name. It's slipped my mind. But I'm sure
love
by the
your
end of the
Well, maybe we'll cut that. We'll cut that.
Yeah,
we'll cut that
yeah.
out. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's offensive. I just think it slipped my mind. I forget sometimes. But yeah, there's one I'm speaking to. She produces a lot of music for Yemi in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I actually met her. That's why it's very embarrassing. But I do enjoy her work so much. I really look forward to working with her. And there are a couple of songwriters that I really want to work with around now. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to production, but I really want to see songwriters that I can work with, because I've been so selfish and kept or reserved with my songwriting process, where I don't want to involve other people. But every time I interact with people, I realize how much more I could do with a bigger team. So I'm just looking to expanding there.
Anything that's going to be changing or being tweaked with regards to your sound?
You know, my sound, I don't know what my sound is yet. I still haven't figured that out. I'm still trying to figure it out. But again, I was told not to figure it out. Then we can just have as much fun as possible. But you're definitely going to hear different things, because, you know, I introduced some trap into this album. So I want to introduce reggae into the next album. I just want to do whatever I want to do and try be as diverse as possible and try and learn as much as I can. Because again, working with an orchestra, that was like a whole different experience. So can we go and find out how to work with street drummers, how to work with, people from my home traditionally who only know how to sing a certain way? I really want to incorporate gazillion cultures in my music. Yeah. Also because I really don't know what my music sound is. I'd like to just see how influenced I can be. Yeah.
We're about to say goodbye
Your
to
music
our.
sound is moving.
Thank you.
We're about to say goodbye to our KTN audience,
Oh.
KTN News audience. So anything you want to leave them with while they're still with us?
Yeah, the reason artists aren't getting the reason we artists are having a hard time getting out there is because we're not streaming our own music, we're not listening to our own music. So just do something small to be more involved with Kenyan content, even if it's just adding 3 songs to your playlist by Kenyan music, new Kenyan artists, maybe not the mainstream ones. It doesn't even have to be me. Just go out there and stream Kenyan music. That's it.
And if you're a female producer or a female artist in the industry, you just, let us know you're there. Let Nikita know you're there.
I would love to know. I
Just-
would really, really love to meet you if I guess you're a female producer who who is really devoted to their work, because I also think I would push you.
No jokers.
No jokers. Yeah.
Excellent. So, as we say goodbye to KTN News, I just want to say thank you, Nikita Kering. You're going to stay with us for a little bit more. Anita and Darrow, we have the amazing Celine and Nancy from Ghetto Classics. Had you heard of Ghetto Classics
Yeah, of
before
course
today?
I have. Of course I have.
There's an orchestra waiting to perform with you at some point,
have.
looking up to 20. And they're smiling. I'm like, it's not a done deal. Bado tutaongea. All right. Celine and Nancy, why don't you actually, Celine, hit us up with that X again, because we love that clarinet version. We want the guys on KTN News to be able to hear it again. I know I've put you like 2-3 times. Go ahead. When you were on BBC and you heard the orchestra perform, for the first time as they were warming up, waiting for you, what was that?
KTN News. Get the whole story.